Welcome back students. In the previous video we recited the poem. We understood the poem stanza by stanza. Now students, let us move on further. Let us again recite the poem. 2.5 The Silver House, written by poet John Lee. There's a silver house in the lovely sky, as round as a silver crown. It takes 2 weeks to build it up and 2 to pull it down. There's a man who lives in the silver house, in a lonely sort of way. But what his name is no one knows or no one likes to say. Yet when you go to bed tonight, just draw the window blind and peep out at the silver moon, this lonely man to find. But if his house is taken down and all the sky is bare, then go to bed because of course the poor man won't be there. Now students, let us understand the hard words and the meaning of the poem. First one, crown, meaning a silver coin that was used in England in the past. Second, window blind, meaning a protective covering for the window, for example a curtain. Third, taken down, meaning pulled down. Fourth, bare, meaning uncovered. Now students, let us see what are rhyming words and the rhyming words of the poem. Rhyming words are those words that have the same or similar sound. It is at the end of a line or a sentence. If they sound the same or similar, they rhyme. So rhyming words are called as similar sounding words. When two or more words sound same, they are called as rhyming words. Let us see the rhyming words of the poem stanza by stanza. There's a silver house in the lovely sky, as round as a silver crown. It takes 2 weeks to build it up and 2 to pull it down. In this first stanza, we will see the words that end the line. In the first lines, the word that ends is sky. In the second line, the word that ends is crown. In the third line, the word that ends is up, and in the fourth line, the word that ends is down. So in this first stanza, we can see that the words crown and down, they are sounding similar. They have the same sound. Whereas the words sky and up, they don't sound same. So the rhyming word in the first stanza is crown and down. Now let us see the second stanza. There's a man who lives in the silver house in a lonely sort of way, but what his name is no one knows or no one likes to say. So in the second stanza, the first line ends with the word house. The second line ends with the word way. The third line ends with the word knows, whereas the fourth line ends with the word say. In the second stanza, we can see that way and say, they both sound same as well as similar, whereas house and knows, they don't rhyme at all, they don't sound same. So way and say is a rhyming word over here. Now let us see the third stanza. Yet when you go to bed tonight, just draw the window blind and peep out at the silver moon, this lonely man to find. Here in the third stanza, we can see that in the first line, the word tonight ends. In the second line, the word blind ends. In the third line, the word moon is at the end. In the fourth line, the word find is at the end. So here we can see that blind and find, they both sound similar. Whereas tonight and moon, they don't sound similar. So here in the third stanza, blind and find is the rhyming word because they sound similar. Now let us look into the fourth stanza. But if his house is taken down and all the sky is bare, then go to bed because of course the poor man won't be there. In the fourth stanza, the word down ends in the first line. In the second line, the word bare ends. In the third line, course, the word course ends. In the fourth line, the word there ends. So here in the fourth stanza, we can see that bare and there, they both sound same. Whereas down, of course, they don't sound similar with any other word, as well as they both don't sound similar. So here we can see that bare and there, they both are rhyming words. So So students understood what are rhyming words? Rhyming words are those words which sound same or similar. They are called as similar sounding words. Now students, let us see the figures of speech. Figure of speech is a word that possesses a separate meaning from its literal definition. That means the figure of speech have different meaning other than the normal definition. Let us look some examples from this poem. For example, there is a silver house in the lovely sky. In the first example, we can see that the sound of S is being heard. Silver house, sky. So the sound of S is being heard when we read that line. So when the sound of S is being heard, it is called as alliteration. Second example, as round as a silver crown. Here again we can see that the sound of A is being heard, as round as a. So when we read that second example, we can see that the sound of A is being heard. So it is called as alliteration figure of speech. The third example, it takes 2 weeks to build it up and 2 weeks to pull it down. Again, when we read the third sentence, we can hear the sound of T. It takes 2 to build it up, 2 weeks to pull it down. So the sound of T is being heard when we read the sentence. So that is why this third example that is also called as the alliteration figure of speech. When the sound of A to Z is being heard, then it is called as alliteration. So students, I hope that you have understood figure of speech. So today what all we learnt? We learnt the meaning of the poem, we recited the poem, we saw hard words and its meaning, we also saw what are rhyming words, and we saw the figure of speech. So students, I hope that you have found this poem interesting, and I hope that you have understood rhyming words and figures of speech. There are many figures of speech, but only alliteration figure of speech is being seen in this poem. So students, I hope you have understood the poem. Okay students, thank you students. Stay safe, stay healthy and take care.